Well, happy Friday, everybody. This is First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich here in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's Friday, it's the start of the holiday weekend, and it's all good news all the way around as we take a look at what happened with Earl. As forecasted, Earl missed the Outer Banks by about 85 miles. You can see the track. This started as a tropical wave coming off of Africa and was a classic Cape Verde storm as it approached the Outer Banks. Now, New England and the Canadian Maritimes, do not let your guard down. This storm is still going to head your way, but for the Carolinas and the Mid-Atlantic, you can pretty much breathe a sigh of relief. To give you an idea of how close it was, I'll put this track here. We can put the line there at Cape Hatteras and out. This was at 5 a.m. this morning, and I'll drag down our little ruler. You could see that was about 78 miles, and that's from the exact tip. From most of the Outer Banks, you were talking about roughly, let's say Kitty Hawk and Duck up in this area. You're talking the storm passed about 89 to 100 miles away. Definitely far enough away that there wasn't any major concern of this storm causing hurricane force winds or the hurricane type storm surge we expected. We did have some storm surge. This is the latest forecast track. You can see the winds are moving away quickly. Winds are down to 85 miles per hour. The pressure's coming up and it's accelerating to the northeast. And here's why I say if you live in the northeast, especially Cape Cod, Nantucket, the coast of Maine, up into the Canadian Maritimes, you're going to get essentially a bigger storm. It's going to spread out, not from a wind standpoint, from a strength standpoint, but more from basically what we're talking about is a huge wind field, which means the hurricane force winds will expand to the east a little bit, but the tropical storm force winds could expand even further. And here's what I'm talking about. Most of Cape Cod will experience hurricane force winds, if not higher, maybe even tropical storm force winds all the way into Boston and then up into the Canadian Maritimes to kind of give you an idea of where it's heading. Here's the good news. We talked about this the last couple of days, and you know basically what happened was on the water vapor loop. You can see what's going on here. We had a really big trough dig in across the middle of the country, and that is essentially kicking the storm off to the north and east. And this is a powerhouse cold front, which is going to bring us some much cooler weather. Here's the latest visible loop. Let me throw the Latin longs on here and the forecast points. You can see it's racing to the northeast. I would argue it's probably going to be east of the next forecast point. But look at the Outer Banks. You're going to be clear here shortly, and if you had vacation plans out there, no worries whatsoever. Damage-wise, here's a look at the map showing all the reports of wind or surge issues. Some of the surge issues, you can see some overwash on Highway 12 up there towards Kill Devil Hills. Then down here towards, this looks to be overwash near Merlo Beach, and then down towards Hatteras. Hatteras had the worst. They had soundside flooding, about 8 inches of overwash on Highway 12, and about 3 feet of water in the town there. And the reason is because the winds started coming around from the north, and this side of the island is not protected. Wind-wise, 67 mile an hour wind gust there in Hatteras. The strongest wind gust we did see was up here, I believe, just off the bridge right here. We had a 74 mile an hour wind gust, but Oregon Inlet did report a wind of 82 miles per hour, and here it is right there, Oregon Inlet Marina. They had a sustained wind of 45. Now, this was a gust to 82, so technically you did not have hurricane-sustained winds in the Outer Banks. It was more of a tropical storm-sustained winds with gust over hurricane force. Surge-wise, you look down here, the biggest surge I could find, Soundside overwash, most of Hatteras and Highway 12 closed. Hatteras very susceptible to storm surge. They had about a 3-foot storm surge, and here was the problem. I'll go in on Google Earth. If you go into Hatteras here, this is Hatteras Island. You can see on the beach side, right in here, you have basically an 8-foot sand dune that protects you from the ocean side. But the problem is, once you get into the sound side, there's no dune there. So it's only about 1 to 2 feet above sea level. So it doesn't take much to cause flooding on Hatteras Island. So that's why, you saw the amount of flooding you did on Ocracoke as well as Hatteras Island on the sound side as the winds were coming down from the north. So it's all good news now as Earl moves away from us. Folks in the northeast, stay tuned. But for everybody in the Carolinas, get ready. We are going to have one beautiful weekend as a little taste of autumn moves in. We could actually break some record lows by Sunday morning in Charlotte, and in the mountains, get ready for low 40s. Enjoy the weekend and have a great Labor Day, everybody.